Alright, guys. Welcome to P&P Outdoors Podcast. Might just have to call it Triple P. This is the first installment, Episode 1, Season 1. And we're going to see how it goes. I've been dabbling in everything, but I think a podcast would, I think that's kind of up my alley. Got to lighten the mood up. Take a brewski. Take a sip of a brewski, I guess I should say. And it's all legal now. If any police officers are listening, I'm officially 21. So come at me, bruh. Well, I'm not. I would go ahead and enlighten you on which beer I'm drinking, but to be honest, I'm not sponsored. Nah, all jokes. I do want to get into the story of my first public land deer, which I killed fall of 21 on a local WMA. It was a doe, and I'll get into that. So, one of my good buddies I'm friends with, he was wanting to go deer hunting, and we were both wanting to hunt public. We had been, we watch the Hunting Public and these other channels and get inspired, get ideas. We both have like private land to hunt, but there's just something about the challenge of no bait, hunt on sign, that I think draws me and a lot of other hunters to hunt these WMAs or, national forests, whatever it may be. So I was pretty intrigued with that. And, I had a couple days off in a row on a weekend. And I was like, well, let's get out there and see what we can do. So we loaded up and I met him. Got out there a couple hours before dark. We set up camp. And he had a spot in mind that he was wanting to hunt. So I went and I helped him hang up a hang-on stand the evening before that he was going to hunt the next day, which is legal for the piece of land we were on, if you were wondering. So I went and helped him hang the stand. And doing so, I actually happened to look. And I saw quite a few deer out on the edge of this field. And this was, keep in mind, opening weekend of archery season here in Arkansas. So it was a ghost town. I mean, we were the only ones, quote unquote, stupid enough to go out in the heat to try to hunt. And I embrace that. I'm always more fired up at the beginning of season, and of course in the rut. And then once they hit kind of the lockdown phase, I kind of sputter out and get into other things like rabbits, squirrels, ducks, oh my. But back to where I was going with that. I'd seen deer out in this field when I was helping him, and keep in mind it was a good few hundred yards, and there was where they were working, there was no way they were going to go by him, most likely. I mean, I guess it was possible, but it was right at dark right there, and we were going to hunt in the morning. So he went to his stand, went hunting that morning, and I went hunting. I didn't see anything. Ironically, I guess I should say, I did not go to the spot that morning where I had seen the deer. I actually went to the spot that I had scouted on my maps. I hadn't actually put boots on the ground, and it turned out to be a good spot. I actually have a video up of a youth hunt that I went, and where he shot at the deer was where I went in blind that morning. But nevertheless, that morning I didn't see anything. So didn't see anything there. Went on about my day. We pulled camp, because it wasn't too far away. The WMA that we were trying to hunt wasn't that far away. Went on about my day. Probably took a nap, ate a sandwich. I know that night that we camped before we went hunting that morning, man, I tell you what, that's where I fell in love with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise became to me like cheese on crackers. I don't know what it was. And matter of fact, as we sit here right now, I can promise you, I'm thinking of mayonnaise. I don't know. And it's got to be that Hellman's mayonnaise. They can sponsor me. P&P Outdoors, Hellman's mayonnaise. Nah, all jokes. But I am a fan of the Hellman's mayonnaise. Shout out to Hunter for bringing it. And I'm also more of a turkey on white guy. I'm not really into ham, even on Thanksgiving. Just thought you should learn that fun fact about me. Moving on from that, where was I? I want to see a deer. You know, I want to hunt public. I have deer coming to my stand at my house, but my mission is to kill a public land deer with my bow. And I guess if you're wondering, I shoot a diamond bow with the Schwacker broadheads, expendable blades, the two blade, the green looking ones they sell at Walmart. You know, because I'm fancy like that. Anyhow, I left my climber stand in the truck, and I was like, I'm gonna go set up on that field edge where I'd seen these does coming out, because I just got a feeling. You know, it's early in the year. Most of these deer are pretty tight to a pattern. The conditions were near the exact same. I was like, I'm just gonna go get in that brush and crouch down and see if I can kind of pop up and get a shot at one. So that's what I did. I went in early, early September here. It's not really dark till like, 7 after 7 o'clock. So I went in and excuse me, sometimes my recording seems to kind of be bucking out every few minutes. But anyhow, I slipped in there probably about 5 o'clock, and I just crouched, found me a spot in the grass near where I saw these deer coming out. Took my quiver off, put an arrow on, got ready. And at this point in time, I didn't film any hunts or anything, so I was just playing on my phone board, which I do anyways, for the record, even if I am filming. But I was on my phone playing. I gotta take a drink here. Refreshing. Anyhow, I swore I could hear something, like in the... Alright, I think we ran into another technical difficulty there. But anyhow, I swore I could hear something in the brush, like walking up, but it was, and it was getting a little later in the evening. So I popped up on my knees and peeked, and I seen a doe, a yearling, and like looked to be a forked horn 4-point. And I immediately got excited because I was 110% willing to pop a doe. I can promise you that. And, I just kind of watched him, and I was like, all right, if she gets to this... I had this little spot picked out in this food plot that it wasn't much of a food plot, but it was supposed to be. It was just tilled up earth at this point. Anyhow, I'd picked out this, twig that was sticking up out of the ground, and I was like, if she gets right in there, it's about 30 yards, I'm going to send it. So, she sure enough got there, and I drew back, squatted in the brush, slid up on my knees and got on her, and she was locked on me, and I was like, oh no. So I aimed low, hoping to duck. Hoping she would duck, and I slid my shot in there, put it right on her shoulder. She was not quartered anywhere. She was perfectly broadside with me. Well, there had been, I guess, some grass blades that I had tunnel vision and missed. So when I shot, she dropped instantly. I heard the impact, she dropped and was pretty much just dead. And I was like, I definitely did not hit her in the right spot, but mission failed successfully. So I went up and I started investigating. I'm thinking spine shot, but I was like, well, she didn't really kick much. And I'm thinking, well, she really didn't kick much. I don't believe I hit her in the spine. I mean, I could be wrong. But I walked up, and best I can figure is that my arrow hit the blades of grass and deflected, and it went right into her neck and took out, her jugular, and she died instantly. That's definitely not a shot you want to take. It's not a shot I'm particularly proud of. I pride myself on taking good ethical shots, in which it was. Accidents happen. I'm just thankful that the deer wasn't wounded and she dropped instantly. So anyways, I quickly get over the messed up shot because I just killed my first public land deer in my second day ever trying it with a bow. And let's get that clear. That was my second time ever hunting. That morning was the first time, and that afternoon was the second time I ever hunted public land with a bow. Or any public land at all for deer anyways. So I was pumped up, and I had my pack. And I walked to service, and I checked the doe in before I did anything. That was my first move. And then once I had her checked in and everything was taken care of, I went and got my pack and had my safety harness and my safety rope, put that around her neck and packed her out, just drug her out like that. I made another rookie mistake, didn't bring a knife because I'm a novice to the whole public land experience. Still am, I'm definitely not an expert. Anyhow, I packed her out to the truck, waited on my buddy because he was in that same spot, and we had a victory sandwich with Hellman's mayonnaise there at the truck. Took pictures, and I was really proud of that deer. She tasted really good too. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had in the deer woods, and that was the earliest I've ever shot a deer with my bow. Period. I've only killed a couple deer with my bow anyhow, and that was my one and only public deer. I hunted public land a lot more this year. And I got on deer and I seen deer. I just couldn't make it happen. I just, beginner's luck is what I call it. But anyhow, this is episode 1 of the P and P Outdoors podcast, Triple P. I'm your host, Cody. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, which if you're seeing it there, that's what's up. And I'm going to try to launch it on Spotify and everything else like that. But anyways, thank you very much. And I will have interviews and try to get other people on here. It won't just be me yakking 24/7, even though it is right now. And it might be for the first couple episodes till I build some sort of audience with this and see where it goes. But anyhow, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening, even if it was for a minute or if you made it through the whole video. You're a good man, and you're a good man, Savannah. He's a good man. And if you're hearing this, 2022 TikTok, that's what inspired it. Alrighty, guys. Check out my other content. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok. My Instagram is probably a lot cooler than TikTok because for some reason none of my videos can go anywhere. I'm not upset about that or anything, but it is what it ain't, and it is what it ain't what it is. I don't know. Sometimes I just rattle off stuff, but I'm glad y'all are listening with me, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a successful season in the woods, and hope God blesses you. And thank you very much.